But Smitty, what do we do with Jonathan Taylor, Smitty?
Is it panic time? Yeah, you bet your bottom dollar it's panic time on JT. However,
this is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Take a laugh.
if things couldn't get worse...
Hey, Smitty, can things get worse?
Yeah, Bob, they certainly can, because not only is JT in a big slump that we don't know what's going on. It's offensive related for sure. Matt Ryan is not moving the football down the field. The Colts look very, very putrid. On top of all that, you got a potential high ankle sprain for JT. He'll undergo further testing. But now we have a short week, walking into week 5 because the Colts travel to Denver for Thursday night football. That makes JT a very highly unlikely player to be available. Maybe testing comes back okay, we'll find out. But things are getting really bad. And back to the offense, they can't move the football down the field. JT is averaging a very bad yards per carry over the last couple games. Looking at JT's game log, he started off good. 5 yards a carry, 6 yards a carry. He was doing good in weeks 1 and week 2. Got 31 totes of the rock in week number 1. Only 9 in week 2. Okay, don't panic, it's one game. 21 carries, 20 carries is not too bad. But 3.4, 2.1, no touchdowns over the last 3 weeks. Virtually no wide receiver production. The targets are kind of there, 7-1, 5-3. Not horrible, but the yardage totals along with the targets tell you one thing. Matt Ryan is not good.
But Smitty, he was supposed to be the answer.
Maybe so, Bob, but he's also played in the NFL since forever. Look at the number of years this man's played. 15. Drop-off was inevitable at some point. The fact that JT's walking injured into week number 5 on a short week with a high ankle sprain, which may not be a big deal, it may end up being a very big deal. We'll find out later on that, but this man is injured right now. He's injured on top of having a horrible start to the 2022 NFL season. You're going to have to tread lightly in trading him away because you probably can't afford to go after some late second round or top of the third round type of value equivalent in return, or your team's going to be decimated. You almost have to hold him. There's really no conversation to be had in terms of trading him away. Who's going to give you what you want? You can't go get Eckler. That buy low window's gone, baby. The buy of the week last week. Him and JJ. At most, you can go get a Swift and another player in hopes that you maybe get something out of it in a couple weeks. And I don't know that I recommend that. You certainly won't be able to get that if the news is really bad about his ankle. If you own JT, I think the only move really to make, unless an offer comes that you can't refuse, the only move is to hold him. The question is, do we go buy him? In leagues where we don't own him, how low can we buy him? How much risk can we package in? Because I'll tell you right now, coming off a high ankle sprain on a short week, busting so far through 4 weeks of play, he's a hard buy if the owner is going to be like, no, I'm going to sell him for, mid first round value. Then you can't really go after him. I don't want to hear in the comments,
Smitty, no one's selling in my league.
Stop saying you can't buy low in your league. Oh, my league's so good, it's so full of sharks. Yeah, maybe in a kid league you can do that, or a grandma league, Smitty.
You can't make trades in my league. My league's the best. The world revolves around me.
Maybe your trade techniques and tactics aren't very astute. Get out of here with this. No trading happens like you say it does. We see it in the live stream constantly. How many of you scooped up Eckler and JJ before week 4 kicked off? A lot of you. There is a buying opportunity for JT right now. I will be poking around in the leagues where I don't own him. I will be trying to get him for what is equating to, I would say, late second round value. I would say something crafty where you're probably giving up about that value in return using a couple different pieces, players that are doing well. You own J.K. Dobbins and you have a wide receiver that's playing really well. You could trade J.K. Dobbins off his multiple TD game in a very fair assumption that Lamar's going to be the running back to own in Baltimore go forward for the most part. J.K. Dobbins did have a nice day, I admit, but I sell high on that to go get JT if you pair J.K. with a player to go get JT. Example, CeeDee Lamb. Would I sell CeeDee Lamb on the high, pair him with a guy like JK to go get JT? Yes, I would. Would I trade Mike Williams on the high, pairing him with a player that blew up like a JK Dobbins? Yes, I would. Would I trade Olave on the high? A guy I don't want you trading. Don't say,
did Smitty just say trade Olave?
Yeah, I did, Bob, in the same context of buying Jonathan Taylor. Would you trade Olave and a J-Rob or a Lave and a Jacobs maybe.
Smitty, you're not going to get that trade. You can't in my league because my league's special.
Okay, Bob, keep thinking that. Keep thinking you're offering these amazing trades. Your technique's great. You're not walking in going,
Hey, can I have JT?
keep thinking you know what you're doing, Bob. I know my people are doing it because they're doing it in droves. Maybe you give up a Dameon Pierce for a JT. Maybe you sell DK and another player on the high. There's nothing wrong with selling a Dameon Pierce right now or a DK coming off big games. I still love them. Me wanting to maybe sell them for JT, it is not me telling you I don't believe in Pierce go forward or DK go forward. These are two guys I loved you acquiring before week 4 kicked off. DK, Dameon Pierce. I love both of them. I love both of them going forward. I love them both walking into week 4. Doesn't mean you don't use the high week, combine two of these guys together and go take a gamble on a guy like JT that could be the number 1 overall player in fantasy football go forward if his ankle injury is okay. And if his ankle injury is bad and it lingers into a couple weeks, it still may be worth it to you, depending on your record and your situation. Context matters, Bob, but you might be walking yourself into a late run, championship run, playoff dominating team by making some preemptive moves and moves ahead of the curve. Playing 3D chess while everybody else is
Play Monopoly.
Poke around. See what you can get JT for. Definitely stay on top of my YouTube channel. Hit that notification button after you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hit the notification button, turn it on, smash it, punch that thumb up button as recklessly as AB in a public swimming pool. And I'll be all over the situation for you, giving you more buy low tips and such, and talking about JT's specific injury and how long he could be out, what's going to look like, how long could he be hampered. He's definitely going to be hampered a little bit. You don't get testing for a high ankle sprain and walk out unscathed. But maybe it goes away quickly, maybe it's minor, maybe it's not. I'll have more details. If it's major, it could linger all year. That information might determine what you send out there offer-wise. Now, you could preemptively, if you need a gamble, a dice roll, your team's kind of going down the drain, you need to take a risk. You may want to trade for a JT before the news breaks and the results are known about his high ankle sprain or potential high ankle sprain. That's the way fantasy football rolls. Dice roll city, baby. That's all I got on JT. This case is adjourned, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. And make sure you get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com for bold predictions, trade calculators, rankings, the one-on-one text advice line. That's right. You can text me on demand at thefantasyfootballshow.com. Just get on over there and order your one-on-one text device and your content membership at thefantasyfootballshow.com. And if your season feels like it's getting out of control and you don't know what to do, you can get on over to Underdog Fantasy and you can play in what's called Resurrection Fantasy Football Contest, where it's week 6 through week 17. You know what you know now. You can take it into a draft and draft fresh for week 6 through 17 only, meaning weeks 1 through 5 don't mean anything. They have no relation to your league. The prizes are crazy. The link is in the description. Use promo code Smitty to get up to $100 instant bonus match on your first deposit. That means if you deposit $100, you're going to get $100. If you deposit $50, you're going to get $50. They will match up to $100 on your first deposit. Again, the takeaway here is that you can go start a new draft right now, a new league, knowing everything you know right now. Even if your league's not in shambles, go do this. Make tonight a draft night. Draft over again right now at Underdog using the promo code Smitty or the link down below in the description. Now get out of here.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Take a lap.